Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley Owen doing my Our Gang Little Rascals collection. This is going to be posted on several channels of mine because I have multiple, but because I don't want to refilm this for just with a different intro for the different channels. So this is going to be on several Our Gang, as I call it, and as us nerds call it, but most known to most as Little Rascals. My absolute favorite film series. You can't get much better. Childhood. It's just great. Let's move the camera. Today I'm showing my Our Gang collection. There's more than what's here. There's stuff like on the walls and stuff that I'm going to be showing. But, without further ado, let's just get into it. I'm going to start with the Little Rascals complete collection. This is not the complete collection as it states, but it's just the Hal Roach talkies from 1929 to 1938, leaving out the early silence from Pathé Exchange and MGM and the MGM sound films, leaving this is really just like the majority of what people know. 80 original theatrical shorts. Whew. I'm out of breath because the way I'm like standing, I don't know. Here we got Darla, Alfalfa, Buckwheat, and Spanky, and Pete. And this is a cool set. Nice and shiny. There's Pete on the back. And there we got the whole gang. Not the whole gang, but whatever. This is cool. It's not, like, the best set. It's definitely, like, if you want a Our Gang DVD, this is what you want to get. Here it has a little description. There's 8 discs. 4 on that side. And 4 on the other, and I gotta try to put this down. It comes with a booklet that this is the re-release version. There is an earlier version that the booklet has some mistakes. This booklet still has some mistakes. This DVD isn't the best. I added this in here though, this picture. So it doesn't come with that. But yeah, it's got some TV prints, which is unfortunate, but for the most part, like, this is the most complete set, like one set that you'll find. Pick it up if you're an average fan, I'd say. So there's that. I'll put that over here. You know, I'll put it right there. Next we have this DVD. This is a in color DVD. There were a whole bunch of these released by Legend Films, I think is the company. Yeah, Legend Films. These are some of the 2 main ones. There's 3. They came in separate cases. Here's what the other one looks like. They all came in 3 cases, excuse me, but 2 of the ones that look like that are in here. That being The Best of Our Gang and Superstars of Our Gang, and these are pretty cool. Nice to have them colorized. Obviously, they're with a computer. Here we got the back with the films, 5 comedies on each disc. Open it up. We got Buckwheat on that disc and Alfalfa on the other. This is pretty cool. Like I said, I'd recommend you get these if you want some color ones. Like I said, there were other color ones released, but the 3 main ones here. Here we got The Best of Spanky. This has some pretty cool, really cool special feature. Where is it? Spanky Home Movies. That was in Inside the Clubhouse, which is a really cool documentary from 1984. The 5 comedies on there. And there's the disc. So those were all separate. Oh man, I could crack my back because the way I'm sitting. Here we got some budget release. I got this for $2. I saw it at a store. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it for the collection. Little Rascals. That is not Pete. I don't care what you say, but that is not Pete the pup. There's Spanky, Buckwheat, and Alfalfa. There is the spine in the back. Some of these screen caps, these 2, are not from any of the films in here. And that's common with budget release, public domain type DVDs. I wouldn't exactly call this one public domain because there's some in here that are not. But you got a lot of the classics. You got like Bear Shooter, School's Out, The Follies, Waldo's Last Stand, Sun Unlimited, High Neighbor, Derby Day, Mary Queen of Tots. A lot of good ones. And it has a nice mix of sound and silent films. But you can obviously tell, like, this does not fit the vibe of Our Gang, these disc designs, but whatever. Spanky, Buckwheat, and Alfalfa. Pretty cool. I mean, they don't use good prints, obviously, but whatever. And what this is this is another budget release But I actually like this one a lot, and it must have sold well because there's 3 different versions. 3 of this DVD. There's this in this thick case. There's one in a regular size DVD case, so about half the size. And there's a box set version that's ginormous. I have this version. This is another budget release, but I like this one a lot. I don't know why. I just do. Maybe it's because it has a lot of silence, and the silence are kind of hard to come by on DVD. But it has Dogs of War, Derby Day, Stage Fright, which is probably one of my favorites. I have a poster of it that I'm going to show you later. Sundown Limited, The Pirates, Mary Queen The Fourth Alarm, School's Out. I'm not going to read all those, but you get 5 discs. Disc 1 is hidden behind this booklet that I'm not going to go over. But there we go. They all pretty much look identical. That does it for the DVDs. We're going to move on to the Blu-rays next. First up, we have the first 2 Rascals, or the 2 Rascals films. This was the 1994 movie that has mixed reviews. Some fans really like it, some really hate it, some think it's in between. It really ranges. If you were to ask me if I liked this movie back then, like back in the day, I would have said I loved it. But nowadays, with more knowledge about like how film works and acting and all that, I'm really not as big of a fan of this movie as I once was. But it's still a nice, like, tribute film, I should say, to our gang. A lot of people love this one. Good on them. Here's one that pretty much everyone can agree sucks. The interesting thing about Little Rascals Save the Day is I have an off and on relationship with it. Sometimes I despise this movie, and sometimes I like this movie. It really just depends. We got Marianne back for some reason from the original gang. We also have the three characters that were not in the 1994 movie that are in this one that were in the shorts is Marianne, Miss Crabtree, and Officer Kennedy, but they're not the same. They're just like, Marianne's kind of the same, tomboyish, but like, they're not the same characters. Don't expect to see Miss Crabtree having a little lovey-dovey with Jackie Cooper or anything, because first off, he isn't even in this movie. But there's a DVD and Blu-ray in here. Now we got the classic flicks. This is volume 2. They just released 6 volumes. I was so happy when I heard about these from the moment the article was released about them. This is the only one I have at the moment. There's 6 volumes. These are the Hal Roach talkies. They're what you would get in the first set I showed you. But why did I go with Volume 2 to start with, not Volume 1? Well, because Volume 2 has my favorite crop of kids, which would be Jackie Cooper, Marianne, Chubby, Weezer, and Dorothy. Here we go. Shorts are included from late 1930 to 1931 are the shorts in this one. And this is great. I want to get the other 5 volumes. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful art. Oh yeah, I left out Farina. And I guess Stymie too. But we got Teacher's Pet, probably the greatest Our Gang film, along with School's Out and Love Business. I call them the Miss Crabtree trilogy, but most people call them the greatest films in the series. And this is a Blu-ray that I made of a handful of Our Gang Silents. I called it the Our Gang Silent Shorts Collection. And it just has a handful of shorts, including the first one from 1922, up until the last silent film made, Saturday Lesson, from 1929. There's Sunshine Sammy, and we get 2 discs. I really didn't spend too much time on the art or anything, but it's pretty cool. We got my favorite. And this next Blu-ray, I didn't know if I should include it or not, because it's not exact. It's kind of like an Our Gang spinoff, I would say. It's The Gas House Kids Go West. And The Gas House Kids was a series of 3 feature films starring some of the cast from Our Gang, including Carl Schweitzer, who played Alfalfa, Tommy Bond, who played Butch. And it kind of reminds you of like Our Gang, but with adults, pretty much, young adults, pretty much. This is the only one that I have. It's a Blu-ray that I burned. But it's a good movie. And I didn't bother doing any art, but there's the film in the back. It's a pretty good movie, so I just decided to include it. Now we move on to VHS tapes. I have 2 of the Cabin Fever releases. These are hosted by Leonard Maltin and feature 4 comedies. Pretty groundbreaking for the time because these were uncut and restored, which had never been done with Our Gang, or the Little Rascals as it was known at the time. I would highly recommend you get these if you're a collector, but if you're not, a lot of these prints you can find on the DVD. But this volume, let's see, this is volume 6 and volume 7. Volume 6 has Freewheeling, Mike Fright, Washy Irony, and Fishy Tales. And volume 7 has Helping Grandma, Spanky, Little Papa, and Too Too Young. So these were the Cabin Fever sets. There was 21, I think, somewhere around there of them made. Now we're going to move on to the film prints. This is one, I labeled it, Our Gang 1924. The film was from 1924, and it was also printed in 1924. This is Baby Parade, which is a cut from, I can't remember what it, Cradle Robbers is what the full film was. And all these prints here are just, these are 16mm silent prints of silent films in the series, and they're all cuts. They're not the full films, they're like a scene or two. This one is great. The titles don't go on for very long. I'm trying to get this to focus on the film here. Focus, please. Please. There you go. Come on, stupid. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Oh, come on. It was so close. Whatever. The titles don't go on for very long, so you miss a little bit of that. Baby Parade, 1924. Then, this one, Baby Laundry. This is a cut from Baby Brother. I do have the box for this one. It's on display, and I'll show you that later. But this is Baby Laundry, as you can see there. And it's from the film Baby Brother. And this is a very, very funny film. This is about, oh, I don't know, 2 minutes of footage. And the titles go on for a bit longer in this one. The only problem, and I just uploaded this short on my main channel, by the way. But the main problem with this is all these next prints, these next 2 I'm going to show you, including this one, are by, oh, what is it? XL Movies? I don't know. They're not the best. They don't have the best quality prints. But the previous one that I also uploaded on the channel, Baby Parade, is from Exclusive Movies, which is definitely probably the greatest in terms of quality. But you know what, I'm gonna deal with that later. And here we have a bit of a longer one. This one's about 5-6 minutes. Focus on that. And this one is Way Out West. Come on, focus, darn it. There we go. And it's missing the top. This is, what is this from? This one's from, I just asked someone about this recently because I couldn't remember the name. I can't remember what it was called, the original film, but this has a lot of leader on it, which is great. And the titles go on for a long time. So, yeah, this is a great film too. And last off for the collection I'm showing here, this book, A Story of Our Gang, or A Day with Our Gang. I don't know. There's 2 versions of this. There's a yellow cover and a green cover. I have the yellow cover. Here we got, and this is copyrighted in 1929. So this book is really old. About, what, 93 years old, I don't know. But you got colorized pictures of the cast from 1929. And it's pretty cool. So, that's great. Now I'm going to go on and show you some of the other Our Gang late stuff I've got, which isn't much more. There's the box for Baby Parade, which I showed you, and I did an unboxing on this one. I just put this on display normally. So there's that. And here's a picture of Jackie Cooper and Norman Chubby Chaney hung up with tacks on the wall. And here we have 2 posters from some of the silents. We got the Champion from 1923 and One Terrible Day from 1922. And finally, we have 2 more posters. And these aren't like actual posters. These are the posters for the films, but they're just printed off with a printer. We got Derby Day from 1924, I want to say. I can't remember. And Stage Fright from, I don't even know when that one was. So, that's my organic collection. Peace.